Okay, so our topic tonight is we're going to hypothetically recast a lot of the uh, the Marvel characters that Fox had the movie rights to, that now Disney owns those movie rights, and eventually they're going to start taking those characters and weaving them into the MCU, whether or not they give them their own movies outright or if they just kind of show up in movies one or the one after the other. So I just thought that it would be fun if we kind of take mostly the X-Men and then the Fantastic Four. If we take those characters and we kind of talk about who we think would be good in those roles if Marvel were to bring them into the MCU. So I think we'll start with the Fantastic Four, because the X-Men is a list of characters that there's so many of them that I know we didn't all pick the same ones. I mean, we probably picked a lot of the same ones, but there's a lot of X-Men that I didn't put on my list because there's about 5,000 of them. But the Fantastic Four, there's 4 of them and a bad guy, So I thought we go over that first. So Rick, why don't we start with you? Who would you recast as one of the Go ahead.
Okay, I've got 2 confessions to make here.
Okay.
1, I forgot about this until this afternoon. And
Same.
2, when it comes to recasting roles, I don't know anyone who wasn't on TV 30 years ago or 20 years ago. So I'll be glad to comment on what you guys come up with, but don't start with me.
Okay. All right. John, who would you recast in one of the Fantastic Four roles?
Funny story. No, I'm kidding. I only did 2. I only did Mr. Fantastic and the Invisible Woman.
Okay.
Mr. Fantastic. I wanted something that was, and this is like kind of for a lot of my picks, something that would not be the first thing you thought of, but like, you know what, I could see it. I wanted a Nicholson as Joker. I wanted a Michael Keaton as Batman. Mr. Fantastic, Steve Buscemi.
He's way too old.
Exactly, not classically handsome. Older, which Mr. Fantastic is supposed to be older. I mean, not that old, but here's the thing: given his power, none of that matters. And Invisible Woman, Lucy Liu, and there'll be like a line early on, like she married him for his mind. Just go ahead and get out of the way. He's super smart, and I love him. And yes, he looks like Steve Buscemi, and I look like Lucy Liu, but he's super smart, and I love him. I think I would like to, and they're both great actors. I would like to see that couple on the screen. I mean, they don't have to get freaky or anything. Just like I want to see their interaction.
They'll have that one scene where they get freaky, but she's invisible, so she's not actually on camera with him.
It's all CGI.
Yeah,
you just see the imprint on his cheeks.
Right.
Okay, how about Wallace Shawn as Ben Grimm?
He would love that, actually.
Inconceivable. So I chose at least one for each one of these roles. I actually have 2 or 3 for some of them, but for Mr. Fantastic, I only put 1. Mr. Fantastic was originally played by, is it Ian Grufford? I don't know. I've never heard of him in anything else. So
from the movie,
what do you mean by originally? There's been like 3 incarnations.
In the Fantastic Four and the Rise of the Silver Surfer, the 2 main.
Yeah, he was in he's been in a few things actually.
Probably a Welsh name. Griffith.
He talks like it. Was the name of that show Forever? It's like Forever or Always or something like that.
Oh, where he was immortal? Was that him?
Yes,
Okay, all
he's
right.
an immortal doctor, I think.
And every time he dies, he wakes up in the Hudson River for some reason. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I heard that was good, and then I saw the first episode, and I disbelieved whoever told me that it was good.
Right.
Maybe it got better. I don't know.
I would. I think I would cast John Krasinski in that role. I think he would do well.
Yeah.
Because he's it's the straight man for the group, you know, and I think he would play a good straight man for that crew. Sue Storm, originally played by Jessica Alba, I would put Olivia Wilde, who was in, she was in House. She's been in a lot of other stuff. She was in Tron Legacy. Yeah. I would put her in that role. But I also, I thought about this. One thing that I did like about Fant Four Stick, the newest incarnation of the Fantastic Four that came out in like 2015, 2016, something like that.
Never saw it.
The one thing that I did like about that was that I didn't like the movie, but one thing that I did like was that they made Johnny Storm black, because that crew needed some color. You know, it was just a bunch of white people. But I think
bitching.
Yeah, well, I didn't have a problem with it. I thought
I didn't
great.
either. They were half siblings, and that was it.
Yeah, and it was, if I'm right, it's canon with the relaunch of the comics, because like they had like a newer version of the comics that had come out a year or so before that, and that was what it was. He was her half brother, and he was black, or her step brother, something.
We should do a whole show just on, I don't know the term for it, but casting people of color in traditionally white superhero roles, because it happens a lot. Obviously Nick Fury, and I can't remember if people were, oh, Nick Fury's not white, or just, oh, cool.
I don't remember a big outcry on that one.
I don't think people have a problem with it.
Marvel they kind of cheated a little bit, because they had a character, they introduced a character in the comics about the time that Samuel L. Jackson started playing that role, and it was the original Nick Fury's grandson or something like that, and he's black. So they're kind of giving themselves an out where they could go back and say, well, he's not the original Nick Fury or whatever, you know.
Well, also it's Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah,
everybody loves Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that if I had my choice if you were casting Sue Storm, Olivia Wilde would be the white girl choice. But if I wanted to recast her as a black girl, I would probably pick Sonequa Martin Green. But I don't know how well she would play off of John Krasinski as a couple, you know. So
now, granted, I don't know too much about these characters, because that's another failing I've got here. I probably should have bowed out of this show when I was thinking about it, because I'm like freaking useless to y'all. But at least the way I've always seen her portrayed, Sue needs to be young and kind of starry-eyed, and I don't want to say ditzy, because that's not quite what I'm looking for, but more happy-go-lucky.
Yeah, no.
That's the way she was portrayed in those two movies.
Oh, so that was not Sue Storm from the comics?
Really. She is Mr. Fantastic. You know, has a stick up his butt. He is very type A, straight laced. You know, and she is, you know, she brings out she is more playful than him, but she's every bit as, well, maybe not every bit as smart, but she's very smart. She is a match for him.
Oh, okay.
So you know, if she's being portrayed as more, I don't want to say ditzy either, but if it's being portrayed like she's somehow less capable or competent than him, then that's incorrect.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can we stipulate, before we go any further, that in this new incarnation, Ben Grimm has to wear pants?
Yeah.
So does he not wear them in Four Stick?
Yeah.
No.
Well, they come off. Yeah, they did come off, and he did show his willy, I believe. And
No,
his,
he was it just
He doesn't have one.
yeah.
oh, he
He just
didn't have
never
one,
had he never
like a
had
Ken doll. Okay.
yeah, he never had anything and
He had his rock butt cheeks
yeah.
showing, but Johnny
You make me
Storm.
want to see the movie now.
You don't want to see
Get
that movie.
really drunk first.
Yeah. Because the problem with it is that just when you think it's about to ramp up and have a climax, it's the end of the movie. It's over.
Yeah.
So
Really?
Johnny Storm, originally played by Chris Evans, I think I would put Dylan Minnette. Because he's a young actor. He's only about 16 years old, and he plays in this Netflix series 13 Reasons Why, and he's been in some other stuff too. I think that he would do well, like a younger version, to be like Sue Storm's little brother, you know. And Ben Grimm, I have 3 choices. So, and it depends on which way they want to go. If they want to go the way they did with Michael Chiklis and have a dude in a suit, then I would pick Ron Perlman. You know, because for one thing, he's already done it. He did it in Hellboy, you know.
But he's isn't he like 70?
No, he's not 70, but it doesn't matter.
That's true.
Because there's going to be a stunt double doing all the stunts anyway. But and if they're going to do motion capture, I'd pick either Alan Tudyk or Andy Serkis. Which I know Andy Serkis is already in the MCU, but if it were just doing motion capture stuff, you know, it would work. I think
if you were doing mocap, you'd want someone. I mean, both Tudyk and Serkis are fantastic, no pun intended. But they're more wiry and lithe and serpentine and I think you'd probably want someone like a WWE wrestler or someone who just lumbers really well. I don't know
like
that
John
Serkis could do
Cena.
that.
Yeah, John Cena.
Yeah.
Sure, why not?
And you're right, Sean. He's not 70. He is 69.
69, dude.
He'll be 70 next April.
And Dr. Victor Von Doom, I would choose either Cillian Murphy, who played Scarecrow in Batman Begins, or Rami Malek. You know, Rami Malek just got done playing in this
Freddie Mercury.
Yeah, Freddie Mercury biopic. So he's kind of got he can have an evil look sometimes, and I think he would do well as a Marvel villain. So
what about what's his name? Michael, the guy who played Dexter. Michael Smith.
I know you're talking. Yeah, I know you're talking about. I don't remember. Michael something. Yeah. No, Michael W. Smith is a Christian rock singer.
All right. Well, that's a complete coincidence because I've never. Michael Smith.
Because Michael Smith is such an unusual name.
Yeah.
They said Michael W. Smith.
Oh, yeah, of course.
John is looking up
Michael C. Hall.
Michael C. Hall. There you go.
Yeah, I think yes.
What? Wasn't he
Charm. Do you think of Anthony Hall?
Yeah.
or C. Thomas Howell, or you mixed a bunch of people up.
That's my job.
Yeah. Yeah. Equal parts charming and menacing. I feel like is the right mix for Dr. Doom. So yeah. Thanks, John. Can you hear me at all? All right.
I'm back. Sorry.
It's okay.
My wife. I'll cut this out of the show. But you guys know the. Did you guys see my wife's post from a day or two ago where it was a joke and she posted a picture of a living room that was ransacked?
Yes.
Yeah.
You click on it and it goes to your own profile.
Yes.
She's got we're on a cell phone plan where we have 4 phones, but there's only 3 of us. So one of the phones is her old phone and she doesn't use it anymore, but she checks it about once a week to make sure nobody's leaving her a message and she needs to get back with them. And she turned it on and there was a message from a reporter from Channel 13 that wanted to talk to her about the robbery.
Oh.
Yeah, it's funny. Okay. So the X-Men. John, who would you cast as Wolverine? Because I know he's on your list.
No, he's not.
He's not on your list. Hey, you cast
No,
the X-Men and you don't put Wolverine on the list.
because I told you I'm going for the. Well, actually, okay, he was on my list. Full disclosure, he was on my list as Terry Crews.
Okay. Well, he's a little old, but
Yeah, but
Is he the dude from the Old Spice commercials?
yeah,
yes,
America's Got Talent. Yeah.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah.
Everybody hates Chris. He works a lot. But I decided that I wanted him to be Bishop instead. Um, he's like a New Mutants character. But if Bishop does not appear in these films, although he should, he's actually a really good character. He's got a cool power. But if I'm casting a Wolverine and Bishop isn't going to be in the movies, then Terry Crews is my Wolverine.
So I picked 4 different people. And one of them is an easy pick because he said in an interview that he would like to play the role, and then I thought about it and I thought he was a good pick. But it's Keanu Reeves. I think Keanu Reeves will make a good Wolverine, even though he's also too old if they want to go back to the way Wolverine was in the original X-Men movie when he was, because Hugh Jackman was like 30 at the time, maybe a little older than that. Keanu Reeves is like 54 now. So I think that he would probably make a pretty good Wolverine if they wanted to do a little bit older version of him. Also, Kit Harington would probably be okay, but they have to do some movie magic with him because he's short.
Well, Wolverine's supposed to be short, actually.
Oh, is he?
Yeah,
because Hugh Jackman's like 6'3" or something like that. So.
Yes. Oh no, the fans were mad. Surprise, surprise.
That is one thing I know about Wolverine. He's supposed to be like 5. He's like 5'3" or something like that. He's supposed to be
is that short?
square.
Oh, wow.
He's like as wide as he is tall.
Yeah. Well, then Kit Harington might work. Kit Harington, played Jon Snow in Game of Thrones. Tom Hardy might be the perfect blend of being about the right age and about the right build.
Venom finally convinced me that I don't like Tom Hardy.
I have liked Tom Hardy in everything I've seen, even Nemesis. I thought he was great in Nemesis.
I
thought he was given some bad lines but he was able to do with what he was given was great. But yeah, I like Tom Hardy. I liked Venom. That was a good.
Oh,
I like Venom.
It's
a good movie.
That's not what you said.
I said it's not. I can't say it's a good movie, but but it was an enjoyable movie. I did enjoy that movie.
It has been every time I turn on my Amazon Prime, because I have Stars through Amazon. It's right there. It's like, John, come on, man. I know you like superhero movies. It's free.
Be sorry.
It's free.
You'll feel ripped off even at free.
No, I haven't because it'll still cost me 2 hours, and when I run out of good stuff to watch, then I'll work my way down to Venom.
There's maybe 10 minutes of good material in that movie.
I'm not running out of good stuff anytime soon.
Over the years that we've been doing the show with Rick, his bar gets higher and higher.
Okay, but is it though?
No, actually, my bar has come way down. If you knew me in my youth, I was one of the most critical bastards on earth. I bitched about everything, and I've gotten
what you're talking about, Sean? Because if you're trying to make him say that Venom's a good movie, then that's
no.
Okay.
I'm not saying that Venom's a good movie. It's an enjoyable movie.
And I'm saying I disagree.
I did not say it was awesome. I never said that movie was awesome.
If a movie entertains me, but it's bad, I'll say that. I'll be like, like Godzilla. Godzilla King of the Monsters is not a good movie by any stretch, but I had a blast.
I thought Aquaman was fun to watch, even though it was not original in any way.
It had plot holes you could swim a blue whale through, but so what? It was fun.
It was
Yeah.
pretty colors. There were some things that were just real dumb, but if you know that going in, if you're prepared for that, then fine.
My thing is, if a movie like has me sitting there going, "Oh God, please end," which is what Venom was doing, I was like, "Oh, come on! I want to, I could be napping instead of watching this movie."
When they got to the scene where Venom and I can't remember what Tom Hardy's name was, Brock. Was
Eddie
it Brock?
Brock.
Eddie Brock. There you go. So where they're having a heart to heart, and Venom tells him that he's the reason that he now wants to be good or whatever. I was like, okay, this is a B movie. Now I know what I'm watching. I can relax a little bit.
How far into the movie did that happen?
About halfway.
85 minutes.
No, I think the whole movie was about 85 minutes.
It felt like 2 weeks.
And then Rick doesn't like it because Woody Harrelson showed up at the end.
He did?
Yeah, he was. You didn't
scene.
say for the post-credit scene.
See,
You got,
and here's how you know that this movie. Y'all know how I am about spoilers. I've been spoiled on this, and that's fine. Like I heard people doing like review. Like I listened to the Blurred Vision podcast, BLERD, because they're the Blurred Vision podcast, and they did the review of Venom. And they put the like in the little notes, skip ahead if you don't want to. Yeah. I'm like, no, it's fine. Feel free to spoil Venom for me. It's totally fine. So yeah, it's like a post-credit scene or a mid-credit scene, I think, and he's.
It came out at the perfect time because it was there was really nothing else superhero comic book related that came out at that time, so it made a lot of money, and they are making a sequel. There is going to be a Venom 2. And possibly, if Venom 2 is successful, that version of Venom may make it into the MCU. So we'll see.
Well, Venom might make it into the MCU, and Tom Hardy may make it into the MCU. But I'm pretty sure it won't be that version of Venom because it sounds like it sucks.
I didn't say. I agree, it does suck, but it's
maybe they'll do a Venom and Ant-Man movie. That would just be awesome.
That actually could be awesome.
Oh man. Okay.
He fused with the suits and got like quantum abilities, but
and he's able to
chew up his butt. No.
Like, what was that thing? Why was everybody talking about flying up Thanos' butt? What was that about?
It was just a theory that was going around that the way that they could kill Thanos was if Ant-Man went up his butt.
Why?
And then expanded back into normal size, then it would kill Thanos.
Okay.
But somebody actually made a like a little cartoon. They showed Ant-Man try to do that. They like recreated that big scene in Endgame, and Ant-Man tried to do that, and Thanos used one of the stones, and it made Ant-Man just stop, and he couldn't move. And then it made Ant-Man grow up to regular size, and Thanos shrunk down. Thanos went up Ant-Man's butt. And killed him. And then at the end of it, Thanos says, okay, now we can put that theory to rest.
I'm sorry.
Okay, who else could play Wolverine? The other one that I have, and I put this on my list because I met him this weekend, but there's an actor, if they wanted to go with somebody that's a relative unknown.
John Anderson?
No. He would love that.
Not the body type you think of for Wolverine.
Justin Kuselin. He played Ethan on The Walking Dead, and he's got the look. I mean, he's got the build, he's got the facial hair. He's got a horror movie coming out that Kevin Smith directed sometime this year called Kilroy Was Here, and so maybe after that comes out, he'll be a little bit less of a unknown, but I think he could probably play the part too. Do you have any ideas of who could play Professor X?
Yes.
Go ahead, Rick.
No, I could.
Oh, you could play Professor X. Okay. What about you, John?
I had a couple. Again, you're thinking really, but then actually I could see that working. Pick number one. uh, Jason Statham because again, decent actor, always got the serious face, and he does a lot of action movies. And it might be nice for him to just sit down for a role, just relax for the shoot. And choice two, although he'd have to shave his head, and I think he probably would, because he's method. Tom Hanks. Again, good actor. I mean, you think of him as affable, but he nails dramatic roles as well. And you don't usually get the he's America's dad, so you finally get the more nurturing part of Professor X, and not just the stern, professor part. He's the not that he's cuddly, because he's still him, but I would be interested to see what he did with the role.
I don't know why they always call him America's dad. He doesn't play a dad that often.
No one, I don't know. It's not that he. There was this whole on Captain Game show. I gave that as part of a clue. I think it was a rhyme casting, but it was something, and the answer was I said America's dad during the clue, and nobody got it. It was our revealed it was Tom Hanks, and they all just attacked.
Was that? I think Jared was on that.
That was Jared.
Yeah.
Jared is like, what? Where is he America's dad? Who calls him America's dad? I was like, it's just the thing. I don't, where does he play it?
He got the title after Bill Cosby lost.
Oh.
What about Bryan Cranston?
Professor X?
It's Professor X.
Sure.
I think it would work. That's the only one.
I think, honestly, the biggest problem with Bryan Cranston would be shaved head Bryan Cranston is already so iconic as Heisenberg. If I would just think that it's Heisenberg in a chair. If he was playing Professor X with the shaved head, like he would have to. I was about to say he would have to look different, but I don't know how he would look.
He wouldn't have that. Well, he wouldn't have the facial hair for one thing.
Yeah, but he didn't have that much. He just had the mustache. I would look at him and I would think Breaking Bad.
I can go with that.
Yeah. Graham Norton.
Professor X. Fabulous.
So what about Storm? I know Virginia sent a message and said she would pick Laverne Cox to play Storm, and I had not thought of that. That's actually
that would be awesome.
Pretty good pick.
It was Laverne Cox.
Yeah.
Who is Laverne Cox?
It was Laverne Cox.
Oh, she was on Orange is the New Black. She's Go ahead, Rick.
She also played Frankenfurter in Fox's kind of horrible live Rocky Horror Picture Show a couple of years ago.
Who was she on Orange is the New Black?
She's a trans actress.
Oh,
I can't remember the name of her character. Mind.
Yes, her. Got it. Yep, that would be good.
Yeah, I think she could do it. Also, my picks were Kerry Washington. I thought Kerry Washington would be good. And you guys might have to help me with the pronunciation of this name, but Freema Agyeman from Dr.
Agyeman.
Agyeman. Okay.
Agyeman.
Oh, that's a good choice.
Doctor Who.
Yeah,
that's a good choice.
Now, Sonequa Martin Green, I think, would be a great Storm.
Yeah, she could do it.
I think everyone you said would be good. I kind of want an older Storm because they keep resetting her, so she never every couple of movies they recast her and she's just learning her powers again. But Storm is really powerful.
Yeah.
So I want the Storm that's fully in charge of her powers and mature and kicks all the ass she should be able to kick. So I cast Angela Bassett. Who I don't even know how old she actually is, but she still looks like she's
like 87, I think.
But Angela Bassett
still looks younger than me.
Angela Bassett's already played 2 characters in the MCU.
Who?
So I don't know. Was Angela Bassett was a character in Captain America Civil War.
She's dude's mom. Yeah. All right.
And wasn't she on Luke Cage, or was that
No, Angela Bassett is Luke Cage. Is T'Challa's mother.
yeah, that's yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah. There you go.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
Black Panther.
Significant
Yeah.
role.
But she was
I just want her.
also
I just
yeah, I
want
think
her
she was
to play every powerful African queen. They should all be Angela Bassett.
um
There's
Rogue.
there's a
Go ahead.
model on Facebook, and I wish I could think of her name right now. But she does like not exactly cosplay, but people keep telling her that that they should redo Queen of the Damned, and she should play Akasha, and she would be amazing as Storm if she can act. That doesn't help because I can't remember her name. Let me see if I can find her.
See, it's the if she can act that you're making me nervous. This is where superhero movies go down the tubes.
Yeah, when they did that a lot in the 90s, where they wanted to bring supermodels in and make them into actresses, and it didn't always work. They still do that sometimes, and they want to make wrestlers into actors too, and it doesn't always work.
And I kind of I had an idea. I kind of wanted to. I didn't write it down, but I did think of it. Tiffany Haddish. Just because
Oh yeah,
I've only ever seen her act in comedy, but
yeah.
I saw the Netflix thing with David Letterman interviewing her, and she's very cool. She seems cool, but I don't know if she can act. Um, so I would bring her into audition, but I wouldn't necessarily promise her the role.
You're right. um, if I go for another big character from the X-Men, Jean Grey, originally played by Famke Janssen, also played by Sophie Turner. I had two picks. One is Lily James, she played in Downton Abbey, and she was also in Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. I think she would do good in the role. And also Minka Kelly, that was in Friday Night Lights, and right now she's playing on Titans. If Titans is even still on, I don't know. She played Dove in Titans. I think she would do well too. Who else do you?
I don't have enough to find her.
Who else do you have, John?
I have Kitty Pryde.
Okay.
Kitty Pryde, for the just refresher course, she was kind of wasted in Days of Future Past. They barely acknowledged, like, she was the one who was going like this to send Wolverine back to the past, which is not actually her power. She I don't know why they did that, but she phases through stuff. Aubrey Plaza.
Oh yeah.
From Parks and Rec, and I've always thought that Kitty Pryde was kind of, it's almost like a placeholder character, like for the first several years of the comic, and she gets more personality later. But I would again, I would kind of want to see what she would do with, it's kind of the all American girl role. And Silver Surfer, Doug Jones, because if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
And Galactus.
Well, I would have him actually do the part, because in the last one he was just in the costume, but they had Lawrence Fishburne do the voice.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I would let Doug Jones. Play the part.
I would. Yes, he would do all the acting. And this
Oh,
is
Doug Jones was Silver Surfer?
He was in the costume. Yeah.
Sweet. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
This is my master stroke. Galactus, who is the giant planet devouring, I think he's a celestial, but he's this huge, imposing creature. Werner Herzog, who is the
director?
Well, he's an actor too. Yeah,
he does some acting too.
Huh.
But he's the one with the voice like this.
Yeah.
And he talks about life and the nothingness of being. Sorry, that was more Schwarzenegger, but you know what I'm saying.
I thought that was Dieter.
Yes. Just look up Werner Herzog penguins, and you're welcome.
Go back to Kitty Pryde, and she was originally played by Ellen Page. First of all, I'd probably vote to just let Ellen Page keep playing the part. But if they have to recast her, I would go with Ariel Winter that plays on Modern Family. It would be a new. I mean, she's never played like a superhero before. I think it would be a good stepping stone for her because, like you said, Kitty Pryde is always usually kind of a background character anyway, especially in the movies. I don't know about the comics, but um, Rogue was originally played by Anna Paquin. I would probably put Chloe Grace Moretz in that part because Chloe Grace Moretz would do well. She's awesome.
I didn't think of this until just now because I didn't cast Rogue, but I would. I just thought, what's her name? Michelle Rodriguez as Rogue.
Yeah, that could work.
She has to get killed in every movie she's in.
She comes back half the time though.
Yeah, she can come back in the next one. Mystique, of course, originally played by Rebecca Romijn and Jennifer Lawrence. First of all, I'd say bring back Rebecca Romijn, let her play the part. But I would pick Emmy Rossum, who plays on Shameless. I think she would do well.
That's like the oldest daughter.
Yeah, and she's a good actress, and I've never seen her do action before, but I think she could probably do it. Or you could use Maggie Q. Maggie Q is no stranger to playing like a villain, so I think she could.
You gotta say who the two people are.
Maggie Q was in Nikita, and she was in Live Free or Die Hard. She's been in a lot of stuff.
I just thought of someone perfect for Storm.
Okay.
Tandy
Newton.
Newton?
Oh yeah. I can see that.
Because she's got the gravitas for it, and she's not too old, not too young.
Yeah, and John was saying it would be good to have an older version of her. I think that'd probably work. The last one that I have on my list is Magneto. Of course, originally played by Ian McKellen and Michael Fassbender, depending on the movie. I got two picks. One is Jeremy Irons, and the other one is Jason Isaacs. So I think
that's good.
I think either one of those would probably be good.
I like the Jason Isaacs. That's really good. Let's get it. I like it.
Except he's already been in the MCU as Apocalypse.
No, that's not Jason Isaacs. Jason Isaacs played Lorca on Star Trek Discovery.
Oh, then who the hell am I thinking?
You're thinking of Isaac. What's his name?
Hayes.
No. Hold on a second, and I'll look it up. Because it's the same guy that was in.
He plays Poe.
Ex Machina.
Yeah, and he plays Poe Dameron.
Oscar Isaac.
Oscar Isaac.
That's it.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But even if it was, he was under so much makeup as Apocalypse that. But those movies, those are the Fox movies, so they don't count. These are going to be the MCU version. But that's all I've got. John, you got any more?
I had for Cyclops, and this is based on effectively nothing aside from he kind of looks like him. Cole Sprouse, who is Jughead in Riverdale. I've never seen an episode. I don't know how well he acts. But just from what I've seen on the commercials, sometimes he looks to the left and right, which is like Cyclops' superpower. So I think he can handle it.
Wait, Cyclops' superpower is he can look from the left and the right?
Kind of. No, he
Then I'm an X-Men.
I can do that too.
I'm joking, but Cyclops is the one who has the red Jordy looking visor, and blast optic beams. So I was kidding, but as far as the hair and kind of the features, I I,
Cy-
I I imagine that he would fit well behind the mask. But again,
Cyclops
I
should
haven't
be
seen that at all.
Cyclops should be played by LeVar Burton.
Mm. Also too old, but that's the
he's
only
no
reason.
stranger to the headgear.
That's the only
But
reason. Uh,
I
think
also, as I was doing some research, I was looking up some of the, because there's a lot of lists online of who people would choose if they were to do this, if they were to recast these characters into the MCU, and I saw things like John Cena as Juggernaut, or The Rock
sure.
as Juggernaut. I
I
think
feel
that,
like that would actually be a waste of The Rock if you made him Juggernaut, because he's a good enough actor. He can do more than just grunt and smash stuff. Like I've actually put down Juggernaut slash Colossus slash Beast, doesn't matter
yeah,
because they're it's mostly CGI. But now that I think of it, actually the Beast, I would do who's it? Is it Ray Park, who was
yeah,
Darth Maul.
Darth Maul? Yeah,
yeah.
for all the flipping, because the Beast is he's thick and he's tough and he's strong, but he's also super acrobatic. And
He would also be a good
he although
choice
he
for Nightcrawler.
yeah, he was actually, was he Toad
Yeah.
in the original X-Men movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what happens to a toad when it gets hit by lightning? The worst
Worst
line in
line
the
in the
movie,
movie.
in any Marvel movie anywhere.
I also thought,
Again, I need a grown up Storm, and it wasn't even her fault.
No,
It wasn't her fault.
it was
But
it was just, how did that line make it past anyone?
it could, like, you could have just said, she could have just done it and then not given like a tagline.
Yeah. Nothing would have been better. Literally
Yeah.
nothing would have been better than that line.
yeah. I also kind of thought Freddie Highmore that plays Norman Bates on Bates Motel. He would be a good, like, if you're doing Beast's origin or whatever, because I got a feeling that if MCU does Beast, he's probably gonna be a CGI character. But if they did like an origin, Freddie Highmore could definitely play Beast before he's transformed, and then still be able to do the voice after. And that was the same thing I was kind of thinking about when they were talking about Juggernaut, because they used Juggernaut in Deadpool 2, and he was a CGI character, and I thought it worked pretty well.
Yeah.
So I don't really see any reason to mess with the Deadpool movies at all. Just take what you've got there and just
Yeah.
move it over to Disney. Don't change anything.
Yes. And Ryan Reynolds obviously must retain the role of Deadpool.
Yeah.
Goes without saying.
Yeah. If you're not going to have Ryan Reynolds play the part, then just don't make any more Deadpool movies, because everybody likes that version of Deadpool. Just leave it. So